evening, this is Scott, and thank you for tuning in to the Rookie Pacific Northwest Wine Enthusiast channel, YouTube's primary channel for discussing Pacific Northwest wines. Tonight we are going to go ahead. This is a winery that I did a review of one of their wines about a year and a half ago. They were called Naked Winery. Now they are called Evoke Winery. But this one here is the Naked Winery Never Have I Ever Riesling. Now, this is out of the Rogue Valley in Oregon. Now, Oregon is not necessarily known for a lot of Rieslings. Now, and I'll be honest with you, my wife and I went down to Cannon Beach for my birthday back in February, and we hit their winery on the way back to Washington. And they have a couple of tiers of wines. We were not really impressed with what they had to offer. Now, they did have a line of wines called their Orgasmic wines, which is their Orgasmic wines, which is their higher end lines. Now, these folks do a lot of play on words. Like I said, they're formerly Naked Winery. Now they're called Evoke Winery, and I suspect it has something to do with a California winery called Naked Wines that they might have had a problem with. Don't know that for certain. But as I'm looking here, they have their Evoke collection, which is what this came out of. They have their outdoor vino wines, which are basically in plastic bottles so that you can go hiking with them. Now, I'll be honest with you, those wines are pretty entry level, to say the least. And then, of course, they've got their Orgasmic lines, which is their higher end wines. Now, this particular wine right now, this is the 2018. They have right now, I believe it's the new Evoke 2019, which is called Never Have I Ever Riesling. They sell it for $25 a bottle. I think that's about what my wife and I paid for this back in February. So let's go ahead and get the nose on this right away. This is mildly intensive, about medium intensity. There's a slight grapefruit note, but what really comes out on this is a honeydew melon mixed with an apricot note. Now, one of the nice things I like about Riesling is I do like that petrol note. Sometimes it comes across. I'm getting a slight petrol diesel note on this. It's not very intense though. All right, let's go ahead and have a sip. Okay, this is, I would say, it's obviously a light-bodied wine. It's off dry. There's a slight sweetness to it. Obviously, tannins are very low. The palate on this, definitely that apricot and that honeydew melon come right through on the palate. I'm getting none of that petrol note that I like and enjoy. As for the acidity on this, I would say this is probably a medium to medium minus on the acidity. Almost getting no bite on this whatsoever. Let's go ahead. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do the color on this. The color on this is definitely, and I am using my Wine Folly color chart. The color on this is a medium straw color, and it's relatively clear. Now, I did open this up last night. I had a quick glass of it, and this is a white. I put it immediately after I had the glass. I put it in my refrigerator, my wine refrigerator upstairs. It is much better today than it was yesterday. For some reason, this particular white, this particular Riesling, I think needed a little bit of oxygen to get into the bottle. It was a little bit more flat, I think, last night. Today it's a little bit more lively on the palate. Let's go ahead and have one more sip, shall we? Okay, a little bit more of that honeydew sweetness comes out. I am getting a little bit more acidity on this palate, on the mid and the mid palate, as well as the back of the palate. The finish on this, I'm not looking for a long finish on a Riesling. I would love a long finish. This is probably, I would say, medium minus on the finish. It's in that gray area between short and long. So, what do I think about this wine? At $20, it's a competent Oregon Riesling. Have I had better Oregon Rieslings? You know what? I can't really say that I have. Not anything that comes off my head at the point. I think Washington Rieslings, they've been doing Rieslings a little bit longer, I think, than Oregon has. I think they're a little bit more competent with regards. But this is I would say, a fairly competent Oregon Riesling. Don't expect a whole lot out of it, but it is for the price. Now, it's $25 a bottle for non-members. I think they had it at $20. If you are a club member, and maybe if you did a wine tasting, you might be able to get it for $20 a bottle. Anyways, you know, will I buy this again? You know what? If I'm down there and I am in need of a Oregon Riesling, yeah, I'd probably buy this one again. This one my wife will enjoy a little bit more, I think, than I would, just because it doesn't have that petrol note or that prominent petrol note, and it's a little bit sweeter than what normally I would like. Like I said, I would say this is more of an off-dry, that gray area between off-dry and sweet. So anyways, thank you very much for tuning in. Have you had any of Naked Winery's old offerings, or now, like I said, they're called Evoke Winery? Let me know what you've had them down below. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this particular winery, and if there's something that I'm missing that you may or may not agree with or don't agree with. So, as always, folks, thank you very much. If you can, at the very end of this video, a little suggestion for for another video of mine will pop up. If you have time, please go ahead and consider watching that video. That actually does more for supporting this channel than liking, sharing, and commenting, to be honest with you. And I'd love for you guys to take a look at some of my other offerings. So, as always, folks, thank you very much. Life is too short for bad wine. This is a competent Riesling. Cheers. I think it would go good with some pan-fried veggies. As a carnivore, that's not happening though.